My name is Quincy and I am the current Artistic Director of Black Theatre Workshop. Tyrone had been the Artistic Director before me. He had been there for about 6 years or so, and then when he got elected into Parliament back in 2011, I figured that this is something that I wanted to pursue. I'd always wanted BTW to be a part of my career. I was a black theatre artist living and working in Montreal, so Black Theatre Workshop was always a part of my ambitions, and when the position became available, I knew immediately that I wanted to apply for it. So I did, and luckily the board thought that I would be a good fit with the organization, and so I was offered the position. Oh, the early years at Black Theatre Workshop. Really, really great. I think BTW gave me one of my first acting opportunities. I was in a school tour production of New Canadian Kid back in, I want to say 1999, I think it was. And that was great. It was my first professional contract with Black Theatre Workshop, so that was a nice step for a young emerging black artist here in Montreal. And then from there, I was lucky enough to be able to be in a couple of other productions. I did A Common Man's Guide to Loving Women by Andrew Moody several years ago, which was a lot of fun, very successful production. And then in 2006, I was in Vandy Haynes' play Blacks Don't Bowl. So those were the times that I actually acted with the company. Since then, and also since becoming Artistic Director, I used to work with the former Youthworks program, coordinating and teaching some of the programs there. And now I've also moved into directing. I started directing the Discovery series, the stage readings, then moved up to directing School Tour, then I co-directed a main stage, and later this season I'll be directing a main stage. You know, I love our BTW audiences. They're very loyal. We've had audiences who've been coming to see our shows for 20, 30, 40 years at this point, and it's so rewarding to know that people appreciate your work and come back. It's a very, very particular group, some of our long-term audience members. I've been in shows, particularly in Blacks Don't Bowl and A Common Man's Guide for Loving Women, where by the reactions in the audience you can tell who's there. There are certain laughs that come out, and there's a lot of chatter. We used to call them the Sunday ladies, the parts of our community, people from our community who would come out to see our shows on a Sunday after going to church. And you could tell that they still had that vibe from being in the church with them. They were very vocal during the performances, which could throw a few people off from time to time, and it was always just something that was catch your ear while you're performing. But at the same time, I find it very endearing because it was a sign that they were with us in the show. You knew that they were there with you and following the story. So it's a very, very specific, wonderful group that we have, our Black Theatre Workshop audiences. I love them. For Youthworks, I wasn't there from the very beginning. I came in partway through. At one point, I think Dominique Barassa-Browns was running the program at that point. And she approached me about coming in to lead some of the workshops. So I came in and was working also with David Francis at the time. And he was coordinating the program. I was leading some of the sessions, doing a lot of work with the kids. And then as the years went on, eventually I was coordinating the program when Tamara Brown was the director of the program. And that was always very rewarding. I really enjoyed teaching or being a part of passing on information to young people in the theatre. I've always thought that, you know, people will often ask, if you weren't in the theatre, what would you be doing? And the only answer that I have is, if I'm not in the theatre, then I would be teaching the theatre. So the fact that I was able to be a part of the Youthworks program was a perfect fit for me to have that balance. And now that it's the Artist Mentorship program, Mike, who's running that program, and I sort of coordinated the next level that we wanted to take it to make it a little bit more of a program for emerging professional artists who are actually pursuing careers in the theatre. And that evolution has actually been quite successful. We're now in our 3rd year of this new Artist Mentorship program. It's going really well. We've got a lot of great interest from young artists in our community, and our peers in the Black community and in the theatre community are very respectful of the work that we're doing. So it's been really great for us.